I got one more in me. Oakland Raiders time. First off, quarterback Aiden O'Connell, not very good, right? They're going with O'Connell, right? Raiders. This is probably one of the worst QB battles ever. They pick a winner, not a loser. Who's the winner? So O'Connell. I'm pretty sure they'll pick O'Connell. Yeah, they both struggled more than the. Well, yeah. Because neither of them are very good. So both of them, I expect to be not very good. Probably even worse than Nix and McCarthy. But I'd like them to go with O'Connell because he is the younger guy that drafted him. He went to like Purdue, right? I'm not mistaken. Purdue, yeah, drafted him in the fourth round. I much prefer this, that story to continue. Gardner Minshew is listed here. Anthony Brown, is that the Oregon quarterback before Bo Nix got there? I think it probably. Yep. Anthony Brown Jr. Has thrown 49 passes in his career. Yeah, he was on the Ravens. I said his first season. It is not his first season. He was on the Ravens. Zeus White, probably the coolest nickname in the NFL. Zeus. I mean, that's cool. I think he'll probably hit 1,000 rushing yards this year. They'll be giving him the ball a lot. I tried to get him in fantasy, drafted a little too early than what I was comfortable taking him at. Maybe a few picks before I wanted to take him. I know the one this morning that I did. He was drafted right before I was going to take him. But in my other league, let's see if I got him. I do not. My team, both teams now I'm looking at them side by side are pretty similar. Okay, but anyway, back. Uh, Alexander Madison and Amir Abdullah, two former Vikings. Abdullah, I'm surprised to stick around this long in the NFL. He's been returning kicks pretty much every time I check in with him. Alexander Madison had 700 rushing yards last year. Okay. Not really something I expected to see when I clicked on his profile, but, fantasy football legend because there was a time where Dalvin Cook got hurt and Alexander Madison was right there, and he wasn't bad. 700 rushing yards and 0 rushing touchdowns is something. But anyway, for a backup, it's a solid backup. Josh Jacobs is gone. Josh Jacobs' accounting stats look good, but he's actually not as good as he was that year he won the rushing title. He had this year, look at this, 1,600 yards, damn near 5 yards per carry. Absolutely terrorized my glorious Seattle Seahawks. And I'm pretty sure I read somewhere he's close to breaking the record for most career receptions without a touchdown. But last year was just not good. 3.5 yards per carry is not very good. Probably, I don't think he'll be that great this year. But we're not talking about him. We're talking about the Raiders. Devontae Adams, still one of the best receivers in the league. Jacoby Myers, I feel more comfortable with him as a wide receiver 3. Trey Tucker, young guy. Hopefully see a step up for him. Jalen Guyton, who I completely forgot about, but I looked him up the other week because I was thinking about those old Chargers teams when Herbert was in his first and second years. Jalen Guyton was one of his big targets, big, deep threat from North Texas. Started out at Notre Dame. Um, yeah, and he will probably see an uptick in production. Other notable receivers can't really see any. Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer. I take back what I said about the Chargers. This is probably the best tight end room besides the Ravens. Michael Mayer was poorly used last year, but he's got all the potential in the world. Bowers, all the potential in the world. I mean, he doesn't look like an athlete, but I tell you, this kid is a freak athlete. And also, Harrison Bryant's not bad either. This is Cleveland, but I feel like I have a memory of him somewhere else. I guess not. Colton Miller is pretty good. Cody Whitehair is pretty good. JPJ, pretty good. Andre James, pretty good. Nealon Parham, young. They're looking for him to be pretty good. And Taylor Munford Jr. To be honest, never heard of this guy before. 7th round pick a couple years ago. I mean, has he started at all? How do you pronounce it? Thayer? Don't know. Started 10 games for them last year, so he can't be like awful. DJ Glaze is a insane name. Ben Brown, former. Okay, I was thinking of someone else. Max Crosby, one of the best in the league at his position on the edge. Christian Wilkins, one of the best defensive tackles. Well, he's not on like Chris Jones, Dexter Lawrence level, but he's in that tier below. He's like a B plus, B to B plus defensive tackle, and Dexter Lawrence and Chris Jones are like A to A plus. Tyree Wilson, not a great rookie year. I was really high on him. Hopefully he can have a better year this year, but didn't do as well as I thought he would. Malcolm Kuntz is solid. Divine Diablo, I was watching when he got drafted. I want to say he was like pick 37. Pick 37 is did he go to like West Virginia? Virginia Tech, 80th overall. The 3, as in the 3rd round. I don't know why I thought it was pick 37. But I knew of the Virginia part. Spillane, solid. Divine Diablo was drafted as a safety. He's a linebacker now. Right, I'm not tweaking. I remember him being drafted as a safety. He's a small linebacker, but yeah, he's listed as a defensive back. Eichenberg, Ohio State linebacker rookie. Boom. Look at that knowledge. That's real ball knowledge right there. He's also pretty small for a linebacker. Jack Jones, who had one of the craziest interceptions I've ever seen last year. I was going crazy on Twitter when he did it. I tweeted about this probably 5 times in a row when he made this, and we're just gonna watch it again because it never gets old for me. Do not go to this website. I mean, this was just an insane game. Oh my God, it's yeah. Oh baby is right, Al Gore. Even quarterback's in disbelief. He can't believe it. Oh baby is right. Did I say Al Gore? His name's Al. Al Michaels. Jeez Louise. Tripping. Brandon Facyson. Facyson? I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he had a Madden card a couple years ago. That was like a 99 overall. Why did they do that? Marcus Epps, who is, I mean, someone you're looking to upgrade on in a couple of years. Was he on the Eagles at one point? He was. DK Metcalf. He's on my old phone. He was on the screensaver because it was DK Metcalf going up and catching a ball over him in the wild card game. Alright, Trayvon Morig, not bad. DeCameron Richardson is a name. Okay, that's why. He was just drafted. Jaquan Bennett, like a fourth round last year out of Maryland. Nate Hobbs, who, despite being a fifth round pick, was actually pretty hyped up by the Raiders. And he's actually not bad. Woo Governor is an insane name. Parents must have been Pop Smoke fans. So that's a pretty good joke. I'm proud of that one. Daniel Carlson used to be my go-to guy in fantasy, but the Raiders' offense is so bad that he's not getting points. As we said, Amir Abdullah is pretty much just around to return kicks at this point. And boom. I don't think they're going to be too good, so let's get into it. Lose to the Ravens. Probably lose to the Panthers. Lose to the Browns. Lose to the Steelers. Lose to the Rams. Lose to the Bengals. This is just not a very good team. Lose to the Bucks. Here's some winnable games. They could beat the Falcons, probably lose to the Jaguars, and beat the Saints. 3-14 for the Raiders. One game worse than the Broncos, so they're gonna be arguing on Twitter, but the Broncos will have the better record because they're just very slightly better. That's about all I gotta say for the Raiders. See ya.